on Facebook. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Hello. We are live here on January 25th, Friday. And this is Real Estate Talk, TGIF. Thank God it's Fanale. Yes, it is. My name's Fanale, and it is Friday. So the F works for anything you want to do it, except that four-letter word. So thank God it's Fanale. I am stoked. I got Jennifer Marie Mayer with me. Jennifer, I met a couple of years ago while working with Grant Wise. We were in the same program. We got to know each other through our businesses, even though our businesses were completely different. Jen, I believe got a lot out of the program as I did. And we're going to talk about, I think, one of the most important things that, she got to be able to implement and was able to grow. So it's like there's an old expression out there that says the less you do, the more you can grow sometimes, and the littler it is, the bigger it is. So anyway, Jen a couple of years ago was doing between $4 and $5 million in production, and decided to fire her entire team. And she went down to one admin, then went down to no admin, and she's actually doubled her production. So Jen, welcome to Real Estate Talk TGIF. Thanks so much for being here. I've been watching you and everything you've been doing and fitness and everything else. So tell me, what was life like 2 years ago as compared to today when you've changed everything around?
In a couple words, complete and utter chaos.
Really?
2 years ago, I had a team of myself and 8 people. I was a broker, and I was running an independent brokerage out of my house. And it was really hard for me to take the leap to join, a company. I thought I was giving up my role as a broker as to be able to manage and run the business that I wanted to. But I did decide to take my team at the time to Keller Williams, and it took off a lot of the responsibility as far as training some of the new people that I was bringing on, which was totally helpful. They had support there as far as stuff brokers have to do, like print all the files, like all that stuff. That I was like, why have I been doing this for so long? But then probably about 6 months after joining, I fired my team. I fired everyone, and it was just me, and I kept one other person. Currently now it's just myself, but I kept one other person for the next year. And it took some time for me to wrap my head around the services that Keller Williams has. We have an in-house contract to close, and it's $350 a transaction. I'm like, well, why would I pay her when I can do it myself? As soon as I said that, it was crazy. Like, I would just go do what I did best. I'd meet people, I'd write contracts, and I would drop all the paperwork off to them. And it was life-changing. Like, I've been able to do so much business, and I don't like doing paperwork. So I don't know.
I get that.
I don't know why I ever thought that I wanted to broker manage an office where that's, or that I even thought, I mean, I will pay her $350 all day long if I don't have to.
Right. So in other words, you decided to fire your team because it got too hectic, and then you used an outside source, which happened to be inside Keller Williams. Mm-hmm. But the transaction management that this person does for you is just like hiring an outside source. Is that correct?
Absolutely. And she's not staffed by Keller Williams. She just happens to have a place in our office.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but they have services like that. People hire their own contract to close and that they use at all times. But she just happened to be there, and I gave her a shot, and it's worked out ever since. I have her cell.
So what does she actually? What does the transaction management look like? What does she actually do?
So she has access to my dot loop. That's what I use for all my contracts. So as soon as something goes under contract, I shoot her an email with the buyer seller's name and the address, and she'll go in, make sure my buyer's agencies, all that paperwork's in there, or listing if it's not there. And then she'll send an email to the other half and let them know that she's the point of contact from now on. So she'll do any kind of amendments. She'll schedule my closings. She lets the buyer seller know to turn off their utilities. She does it all. It's awesome. I just get a check.
Right. That's not bad. Oh, wow. That's fantastic. That's fantastic. So you've been able to, now your team that you had, how many people were on the team and what were their responsibilities?
So I had myself and I had 7 buyer's agents.
7 buyer's agents.
Yes.
Wow.
And I was doing grants program. So I had a lot of leads coming in, but I was getting frustrated because I was the one spending money on these leads. And I don't know if they weren't motivated enough or just weren't trained enough to convert those leads.
Right.
So I just started doing it myself.
Right. So when you did that, let me ask you this question. I'm sorry. What is the average sale price in your area?
It is probably 160.
160. So for an area such as the area I'm in, we're looking at, I mean, it could be around 350, could be 400. Right. You've got to do almost twice to 3 times as many deals to reach that 5 million mark or that 10 million mark that we do here and all throughout the country. I imagine that your numbers, you're doing, how many units is 5 million? How many units is 10 million for you out there?
I think 10 million was right at almost 60, I think.
60 units. And you're doing that. You're doing that. Interesting. I hope everybody's listening to this. You're doing that by yourself and outsourcing the stuff. And that's actually what Grant always said was fire yourself. Is that correct?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And he used to make us do a practice of making a list of the things that we don't like to do. And if I would have done that sooner, I don't want to do paperwork. I don't want to do it. So I'm not. And honestly, I'm not good at it. Like my personality is very fast, go, go, go. And I overlook things, and it's not doing a service to my clients or to anybody for me to rush through paperwork.
Right. And for me, it's a good thing that when I write an email and I spell something wrong, it's underlined in red. Otherwise it would stay wrong. Right. I always had someone send me an email says, you misspelled stuff in your email. And I'm saying, wait a minute. No, I didn't. It was an automatic software program that I'm using for appointments that didn't even misspell something. But anyway, that's beside the point. So let me ask you, I mean, how has your life developed over the last year and a half, 2 years because of this change? What have you been able to do?
My time has, I just have so much more time. I know you touched on it before with fitness, but I'm a fitness competitor. So my workout schedules and my planning for that is really time consuming. So I'm blessed that I have a job that's flexible like this, that I do spend probably close to 2 hours in the gym every day. I do have 2 small kids, 5 and 7, and one of them is with me 75% of the time. And I would not be able to do this volume and still be able to have my lifestyle that I have if I didn't outsource.
So let me get this straight now. You work full time as a real estate agent. You have your child is with you. You're a single mom. You have your child with you 75% of the time, and you spend 2 hours in the gym for your fitness competitor.
Yes, that's correct.
Did everybody just hear what I just said? And how she did it and how she does it day after day after day is outsourcing. Not only that, she has time. One thing she does not have time for, and Jen, you can agree with me or disagree with me. She doesn't have time to learn how to park.
So if you've ever seen, true, absolutely true. If anyone friends look, you can see it all there.
if you follow Jen, you'll notice that she posts pictures of her parking prowess, which is not good. And if you follow me, you saw me post a job of my parking earlier in the week this week that showed me park, and I said I was I was channeling my inner Jennifer. So, you know, I don't know why I parked like that, but I did. I got to blame it on you. So.
That I inspire them, and hopefully it's not inspiring them to park badly.
So anyway, you okay?
Yeah.
All right. So anyway, so you know, you've been able to do a lot of different things with your business, with your fitness, and now you've decided to go. You're doing something else. You started another business or something. You're doing something else with blogs and stuff. Tell me about that.
Yeah, I started a blog called Playdates, Weights, and Protein Shakes. It basically embodies all the things that are important to me. Raising my kids, my fitness, and just juggling all these things that I do. But I do it in a really humorous light. So if you do visit the blog, I put new posts on Tuesdays and Fridays, and I just make I poke fun at myself a lot because life isn't about being serious; it's about having fun.
Right.
I think a lot of times on social media, you just see how perfect people are, and I am not perfect, but I'm getting it done. So hopefully, I can inspire some people to just be real.
That's fantastic. I want to go to a couple of the comments that we're getting here. As we had Andrew Pierce say hello. Remember Andrew?
Hi.
He's on. Matt DeFady from up here is the guy who was very interested in your story. He loves it. Linda Lolleman, she says she's interviewing 2 transaction coordinators today. It's right on point for her because she recently went to EXP from Century 21. So, I mean, these are all some of our old friends and some of our new friends. And but you know, it's really a great thing. So tell me some intricate about the decision-making process and the pain you went through. I know you went through some pains about changing everything. Was it the leads that they weren't responding to the leads? Because you know as well as I do, agents just want now business. Do you think that was the reason that they weren't converting on it? Or is it just, you know, they weren't being pushed? Or what do you think?
I feel like it was 2 things. One, there's a lot of lazy agents that want that spoon hand filled, that lead. But I did keep one agent for a long time, and she actually did end up going through Grant's program, Melissa. So I think it takes a certain type of hustle. You are gonna, work these type of leads because they're not handheld spoon fed. You have to do the process of 10, 10, and 10, or whatever you want to do. You have to stay on them. You have to stay organized. And I feel like the talent that I had, or the buyer's agents that I had, they just couldn't see that. Unless you can wrap your head around that, they're not going to convert.
I think that's a message for a lot of people and a lot of facets in this business. Basically, I think I mean, I use it too, and I get in trouble saying it and saying there's lazy agents and everything else. But I think as a society, I think as a business, there's a problem with 2 things. I think the 2 main things we have problems with are focus and organization. And both of those come down to one simple thing called self-discipline. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely.
And then if you're able to harness your own self-discipline and remain focused with the right system, with the right plan, with the right tools at your fingertips, I believe that you can be successful in anything, no matter what it is. Of course, there are skills that need to be trained and skills that need to be coached. Are there any new things that you've done over the past couple of years, along with the Facebook marketing that we've alluded to? Anything different that you've learned that's helped you a lot?
I feel like for me personally, I've tried, I've done like Facebook ads. I've done, different types of things that you're paying money for. The most return I've got is just building those relationships, whether they're my online relationships that I'm building with people getting to know me, or just getting out there, having those lunches. A lunch costs what, $20? It's getting to know people and getting them to know you is it all boils down to you just selling yourself, like your character, who you are, what you do, how you do business, and the more people that know that, the better off you are.
So basically, you're marketing yourself to build or to begin a relationship, and then you work on that relationship individually. Is that correct?
Absolutely, yes. I
Yeah.
just like
So
people.
say again.
I just like people.
Exactly. And it's something I work on, and I try to tell people all the time is these 2-word phrase. And I got this from my buddy Mike Pruitt down in Atlanta, Georgia, who's owner of Century 21 Connect down there. He says to his agents the way he gets them. And he's got a great company, and he says all you have to do is be nice.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
True.
I mean, if you be nice to people, they're going to remember you.
Absolutely.
So Jen, is there anything that you want to add to this conversation that you think that could help people with their lives and change some things in the way people look at things? Or anything you can add to that, to what we've talked about already?
The only thing I can say is, over the years, I've tried so many things, and the majority of them do fail. But you just pick yourself back up, you get another plan, you figure out how to get there, and you do it. Real estate with everything else is always changing, so you can't just sit back and do things the old way. You got to reinvent yourself.
Right, and that comes back failure being a great thing. I spoke this week in front of the company I work with, Group 26 in Edgewater, New Jersey, and one of the things I said is you need to celebrate your victories, but you need to more importantly celebrate your failures.
Right.
Everybody can talk about how many times Thomas Edison failed and stuff. I look to one of my favorite baseball players, Derek Jeter, who made 56 errors his first year in professional baseball. I don't think the guy ever quit because he's probably going to go down as the second unanimous vote getter for unanimous Hall of Fame inductee next year. So, I look at that, and if you don't know who Derek Jeter is, please look him up. I look at that, and failure being so very important. And honestly, I fail every day. And what I find that helps me, pick myself up from my failures is knowing that I know what my capabilities are. I know what my abilities are. I know that if I don't stop, there's nothing that can stop me,
Right.
And I know you went through the same thing. I mean, we spoke the other day about it, and I'm personally, I'm proud to see a friend, and I consider you a friend, do so well and get there. And I admire everything you've done, and I hope everybody got something out of this interview. And I just want to, before we close, I want to just say, we've got this interview show, this show called Real Estate Talk, has developed and grown, and I've been able to get some really great people on in the past few weeks and in the future. Like I've got Jen on today. I've got confirmation from Katie Lance, Chelsea Pites, Chris Smith has just agreed. Lee Thomas Brown has agreed to come on. That won't be till June, but we've got some great people coming on. And what I've decided to do is aim as high as possible. And guess what? There's only one person that said no, and it was a local broker in this area. He said because he's camera shy. I'm not going to embarrass him and use his name, but that's the only reason. And everyone else has said yes. So here's the thing. If you don't ask, the answer is always no. So I want to thank you, Jennifer, for coming on, being a great guest and telling your story here. My name's Dave Fanale, Real Estate Skill Builder. If you're interested in getting more information about the Real Estate Skill Builder program, go to reskillbuilder.com and you'll see a little video. I'm talking to you. And then if you want to talk to me, it'll set the appointment up for you. But we got a lot of great stuff coming on. Next week, who do we have next week? Let's see. Of course, I'm not organized because I'm having a lighting issue here today. I forget who's coming on next week. But we're going to be live next week again. And as I said, coming on in the future. So, Jennifer, thank you so very much for coming on. And thank everybody for the comments. We got Trish Lito saying hello, who I met at Agent 2021 last week. And Lauren Taylor is on saying hello with hearts. Andrew Pierce, heck to the end. And Lauren Taylor has so many great nuggets here. Lauren, thanks so much for coming on. Let's reconnect so I can get you on the show. So anyway, Jennifer, thanks a lot.
Bye.
Take care and just stay on for a minute, okay?
Okay.
Thank you. Take care, everybody. See you next week. if this will